I just want to know when the Democratic Party is actually going to take a step forward for once. It's been nothing but 10 steps back. Welcome back. Be sure to subscribe. Let's get right to it. First topic. So Trump completely slammed Biden at the White House Easter event yesterday. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
You remember the bunny with Joe Biden? Remember? You remember when the bunny took Joe Biden out? He's not taking Trump out anyway.
Now, let me know if you love this type of thing from your president. Frankly, I think it's great. The fact that the guy just slams Biden anytime he gets a chance. Because listen, he knows the whole Biden regime, Biden was just a puppet, dude. I mean, everybody knows it. That's just, and he wants to make it sure that everybody knows it. You know, he wants to slam it home that 2020, he got completely faked. He definitely won, but, you know, they want to just pretend like somehow Biden pulled it off. And if you don't like a transparent president, because see, with Biden, we got nothing, right? With 4 years of Biden, it was like, we didn't even know who was running the country, right? And it's like, if you don't know who's running your country, it's like you don't even really have a country at that point. But yeah, the whole Biden getting, like, having just moment after moment where the guy needs to be whisked off stage, or you got the Easter bunny, you know, escorting him out of the grounds because he has no clue where he's going. It's like, good on Trump for calling it out and making it very prevalent exactly what happened to our nation back from 2020 to 2024. Just some sort of just weird, insane thing where we didn't even have a president, and we basically had some sort of shadow government just running the nation. Oh, God, it's a sick world, folks, that type of thing can actually go on. But see, with Trump, with a guy like this, when he makes these types of comments, he's just hilarious. No, the guy is hilarious. Him being in office just makes everything better. You know, entertainment better, comedy better, because they see the leader of the nation doing this type of thing. So everybody's like, yeah, you know, we want to go be like that too. You know, we want to be hilarious and we want to be great, and it just inspires a nation, folks. It really does. But all right, let's get to the next topic. So Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth completely blasts the fake news media for their fake news reporting. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
What do you want to say, sir, about the signal chat controversy?
You know, what a big surprise that a few leakers get fired and suddenly a bunch of hit pieces come out from the same media that peddled the Russia hoax. Won't give back their Pulitzers. They got Pulitzers for a bunch of lies. Pulitzers for a bunch of lies. And on hoaxes, time and time and time again. And as they peddle those lies, no one ever calls them on it. See, this is what the media does. They take anonymous sources from disgruntled former employees, and then they try to slash and burn people and ruin their reputations. Not going to work with me, because we're changing the Defense Department, putting the Pentagon back in the hands of warfighters, and anonymous smears from disgruntled former employees on old news doesn't matter. So I'm happy to be here at the Easter egg roll with my dad and my kids, because, you know, this is what we're doing it for. These kids right here. This is why we're fighting the fake news media. This is why we're fighting slash and burn Democrats. This is why we're fighting hoaxsters. This group, this group right here, full of hoaxsters that peddle anonymous sources from leakers with axes to grind, and then you put it all together as if it's some news story. And when we know exactly what it is. So I'm really proud of what we're doing for the president, fighting hard across the board, and I'm going to go roll some Easter eggs with my kids. Thank you very much. Have spoken to the president, and we are going to continue fighting on the same page all the way.
So here's the thing with Pete Hegseth, right? They completely hate the guy because he's just a masculine male who's running the military right now, making the military great again, you know, removing all the wokeness, removing the trans from the military, and they basically just can't stand that. The Trump put a masculine dude who doesn't take any shit and who wants to just, shove it in your face that we're going to be the most, powerful military in the world. And that just goes against the whole safe space narrative that the whole left-wing media is trying to, facilitate here of, oh my God, you gotta be more inclusive and everything's inclusive and woke and trans. And Hegseth, he's just not buying into that shit, and he never will. He never will. He's a guy who's, we're staying the course. We're not going woke. We're going to be great. And that's what Trump wants. That's what America wants. And I think that's what America should get. And we should be lucky that once again, our military is going to be the best in the world and not just some woke garbage freaking disgrace like it was under Biden. But all right, let's get to the next topic. So Elizabeth Warren was called out for defending the Biden mental state on a podcast. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
Do you regret saying that President Biden had a mental acuity? He had a sharpness to him. You said that up until July of last year.
I said what I believe to be true.
And you think he was as sharp as you?
I said I had not seen decline. And I hadn't at that point.
You did not see any decline from 2024 Joe Biden to 2021 Joe Biden?
Not when I said that. You know, the thing is, he was sharp. He was on his feet. I saw him. Live event. I had meetings with him a couple of times.
Senator, on his feet is not praise. He can speak in sentences is not praise.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. Of course she needed to be called out. Good for this guy. I'm glad he called her out. I mean, because she definitely was not expecting that. But the whole narrative around the Biden mental capacity, if you didn't realize during the 2020 election that the guy was completely brain dead and couldn't, put together any sort of mental thought, that's on you. Even there was right-wingers, conservatives who were stunned at the debate, like, oh my God, I didn't realize he was so bad. How did you not realize in 2020? It took you till 2024 to realize that this guy who couldn't do any press conferences or couldn't take any questions was completely brain dead. If you didn't see it in 2020 before that election, then frankly, I need to question your ability to recognize things, because obviously you can't recognize a guy who just can't put together a sentence, which if that's the case, then you might need to start, rethinking how you observe things and how you take in information, because to me, that was just the most obvious thing ever, that the guy was completely brain dead in 2020. But apparently for the rest of the world, it became blatantly obvious in 2024 during that debate, which I knew that all Trump had to do during that debate was not come off as some sort of bully to a guy who's mentally incapable, and he, of course, would have won, which is pretty much what happened. But yeah, good on this guy for calling out Warren. I mean, Pocahontas here, she's just such a moron, and she's another one of the people who's completely bringing down the Democratic Party, one of the people that makes them take 10 steps back every time she opens their mouth. I just want to know when the Democratic Party is actually going to take a step forward for once. It's been nothing but 10 steps back. But all right, let's get to the next topic here. So we have a woke name change battle, I guess you could say, in Massapequa, New York. The Massapequa High School Chiefs is really battling to keep their name when even Trump has entered the conversation. He sent out a Truth Social defending the Chiefs' name. It's funny because there's people who are like, oh my God, it's 2025. Why are we still having these types of names, these derogatory names, when for me it's like, it's 2025. Aren't we over this whole fake name change and pretending like a name like the Chiefs is a woke name? I mean, look at what's going on with the Redskins, right? The Redskins are basically bringing back the Redskins name from, complete, just, I don't even know, complete, annihilation, I guess you could say. They basically tried to take it completely out of the NFL, but now there are people coming out saying, no, we love the name. People in the Native American nation saying, yo, we love the name. It was in honor of this great chief, and now all of a sudden these crazy people who just are just claiming we don't like it have gotten them to change the name. And the exact same thing's going on with this Chiefs Massapequa High School name. Do you think these high schools or these NFL franchises who want to put out the best foot forward at all times, do you think they really are going to name give a representation to their school or their franchise with a name that is some sort of derogatory term, like, oh yeah, we're going to name our NFL franchise, we're going to name it the Redskins because we just want to make Indians look bad? No, they do it because it's a powerful name, it's a great name, and it's paying homage to some great people and a great nation, right? It's like, but you get like the one or two LGBTQ Native Americans who want to come in here and just make some big fuss about something and be a bunch of blowhards and just make it so people gotta conform to their whatever they feel about the Native American culture, right? They're probably not even really, accepted in the culture that much because they're, fringe people, because they're trying to make everything trans and woke and bullshit, and the Native Americans probably hate that crap. But these people speak loudly and they make their voice heard. And in the end, a lot of times they win. That's why I feel like it's 2025, folks. We're done bowing down to these people, right? We're done bowing down to these people. But all right, that's it for today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll be seeing you